In this video, we're going to cover how to multiply and divide and keep track of significant figures. And we're also going to go over addition and subtraction. So for multiplication and division, the number of sig figs in your answer has to equal the number of sig figs in your least precise measurement. So remember, the least precise measurement is the measurement that has the smallest number of sig figs. So let's look at this example. So we have 6.38 times 2. So we look at 6.38. It's got a decimal point. We're going to start on this left side and count. It's got 1, 2, oops, sorry about that. It's got 1, 2, 3 sig figs, 2.0 decimal point. Start on this side. It's got 1, 2 sig figs. We have 3 sig figs, 2 sig figs. So our answer has to be rounded off to 2 significant figures. So you go ahead and you just do the math. So you multiply 6.38 times 2 and you get 12.76. So we need 2 sig figs. So whenever you're rounding off, you always start on the left side. So starting on the left side, you go to the first number that's not 0 and count how many sig figs you need. So we need 1, 2 sig figs. So we have to round it off to the 2. So we put our line here. That's a 7. So this goes up to 13. So that answer is 13. It's got 2 sig figs. All right, let's look at some practice here. So we're going to look at the calculation. So for example, 3.24 times 7. And then here's what the calculator gives you, 22.68. I want you to pause this, see if you can round this off to the correct answer. So we're going to do this with each of these. You should pause it, make sure you can get the correct answer, check yourself as we go through this. So 3 sig figs, 2 sig figs, so your answer can only have 2. So we have to round it off, start on the left, 1, 2, the next number is a 6, so this 2 becomes a 3. So our answer is 23 square meters. Next example. This is division. 100 grams divided by 23.7. Calculator gives you this, right? Like to the billionth of a gram per cubic centimeter. And we know that has no basis in reality because if you look at this, our best measurement had 4 sig figs. Our least precise measurement had 3 sig figs. So this answer needs 3 sig figs. So we start on the left. 1, 2, 3. So we need to round off to this position here. The next number is a 9, so this goes up to 2. So we have 4.22 grams per cubic centimeter. 0.02 centimeters times 2.371 centimeters. You always do the math, and I recommend just writing down this answer and then trying to round. So round this off to the correct number of sig figs. All right, this has 1 sig fig, decimal point start here, 1 sig fig. This has 4 sig figs, so our answer must have 1 sig fig. So starting on the left, first number that's not 0, we count 1 sig fig. So we need to round it off to this 4. So that's a 7. So the 4 goes up to a 5. And then remember, in a number less than 1, you're just going to drop the 7, 4, and 2. So the answer is 0.05. 710 divided by 3. 23.666, right? Just keeps repeating, giant number. 1, 2 sig figs here, 1, 2 sig figs here. So we need 2 sig figs. So 1, 2, that's a 3. So we need to round off to this 3 in the tens position. This is a 6, so the 3 goes to 4. Now, the 2 is in the hundreds, the 4 is in the tens, so this has to become a 0 to put it in the correct position. So our answer is 240. Make sure you do not round 236 up to 24, right? That doesn't make any sense. And your notes has some examples of rounding if you need some more practice. All right, let's do one last example. 1,818.2 pounds divided by 3.23 feet, 5,872. Let's look at our measurements. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sig figs. This has 1, 2, 3 sig figs. So we need 3 sig figs in our answer. So 1, 2, 3. So we got to round it off to this 7 position. The next number is a 2. So the 7 stays the same. And then this 2 becomes a 0. So 5,870 pounds per foot. All right, we got one more. So we look at this, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sig figs here, 3 here, so our answer can have 3. So 1, 2, 3. Next number's a 6, so this gets rounded to a 6. So 2.96 grams per milliliter. So the key thing here is to count how many sig figs or what in whatever you're multiplying or dividing, and whatever has the least number of sig figs, that's how many you need to round your answer off to. All right, so for addition and subtraction, it has nothing to do, you don't have to count sig figs. It has to do with places to the right of the decimal point. So when you're adding or subtracting, your answer can only have as many places to the right as whatever you're adding or subtracting. So for example, 6.8 plus 11.934. This has one number to the right, this has 3, so your answer can only have one number to the right of the decimal point. So it's got to match this. So one number to the right, that's a 3, so 18.37. Here's another example. So you get the calculator, 10.24. 2 numbers to the right, 1 number to the right, so we got to round it off to the 10th position here. That's a 4, so it stays as 10.2. Subtraction, 100 minus 23.73. This has 1 number to the right, this has 2, so we got to round it off to one place past the decimal point. That's a 7, so this becomes 76.3. All right, this has 2 places to the right, 3 places to the right, so we have to round it off 1, 2. That's a 1, so the 9 stays the same, so 2.39. One place, 3 places. So we got to round it off to one place. That's a 2. The next number's a 2, so this stays as a 2, 709.2 liters. So that's kind of very quickly sig figs. So try the homework, go through the examples. I've got lots of practice problems. If you need more help, I'll be more than happy to give you a hand.